Guka, inspire us within your walls, be nurtured, within your walls, be nurtured into excellence. Oh, Iguka, inspire our partners from the Fourth Estate. It's a pleasure and honor to welcome you here today at St. Ignatius University, Kabale. We appreciate your services and appreciate the fact that you're partnering with us to publicize our new university that we are inaugurating officially on the 24th of August 2024. That is on Saturday. This is a journey that started some time back. When you cover on that day, it is not just an event, it's a process that has gone back as far as maybe 2016, when our diocese started thinking about the idea of establishing an independent institution. On behalf of the steering committee organizing for this event, and on behalf of the management team in the planning division, I welcome you and would like now to hand over to the Vice Chancellor to address you. Thank you so much.
That we are here for the gift of St. Ignatius University, and we thank God for the empowerment and for all the means He has given to us to begin this university. In a special way, I would like to let you know that the plans to begin this university began some time back, and we would like to thank our Lord Bishop, Bishop Callist Rubaramira, for his initiative to begin this university. It has been a thought, and in collaboration with his people, with whom he works, there was a plan to begin the university, and indeed, we thank God, this project has begun. I would like to let each one of you know that it is the right of the Catholic Church to begin the institutions, learning institutions, at lower levels, but also at higher levels of learning. The right is from Jesus, who gave us a mandate to go and teach, as we see in Matthew chapter 28, from verse 19 to 20. We have an obligation from Jesus, and at the same time the mandate from Jesus to go and transform the lives of people through teaching. And the Catholic Church, in its teaching, does it in an integral manner. It touches all the lives of people, all aspects of the lives of our people. And so there are many things we consider, but today I would like to talk about three hinges or tenets or the principles we follow as a Catholic Church in our teaching mission. Number one, God first. In our institutions, God is our guide. God is our foundation. God is everything we do in our institutions of learning. And this is what we are spearheading in our university. That this same university orients people to know that everything is from God. Even what we are learning and what we are teaching, it's God who helps us to grasp and sustain and put in practice what we learn in our institutions. Number two, moral integrity or moral formation. Yes, we would like all people who come to our institutions of learning, and in particular St. Ignatius University, to be morally upright. It is useless to have acquired academic excellency, but someone is unable even to manage his or her life. And so, in our teaching, we do emphasize ethics and moral conduct in our teaching, so that even when we go outside, we don't send out people who are going to disorganize societies. We send out people who are responsible and who are morally upright in order to transform humanity and the society in which they live, so that the fruits they have learned from this institution are implemented well. Number 3, we do encourage intellectual development. Yes, we are deeply concerned by our people who must deeply think about society's problems. And they do so by thinking about how best they can bring out the transformation. They can bring out the solutions to the underlying challenges of our society. And it's on this note that I would like to let you know that when Bishop Callist Rubaramira thought about beginning this university, he was thinking about how much can our university, St. Ignatius University, get involved in addressing the challenges that are surrounding humanity. And in this case, the challenge of poverty that has kept on eating up the lives of the people, whereby people are living in abject poverty. And he believes, and the entire diocese administration believes, that when this university intellectually helps people to think about the challenges we are facing, then we are able to pave way for the solutions that will empower our people. And that's why St. Ignatius University, in its teaching, we do emphasize hands-on courses that empower people with the skills, so that even when they go outside this university, or by themselves, to bring out something that can help them to empower themselves economically and transform their families and transform their societies, in order to teach people how best they can use their meager resources, meager facilities like land, in order to produce more, and this production eventually and subsequently will transform the lives of people. I want to end with something which we are aiming at: financial transformation of humanity. When you look at our area, especially Kigezi region, you realize people are degenerating into poverty. And we have full confidence that this St. Ignatius University will be a ground into which and through which people will be, our students will be taught how well they can manage resources, mobilize resources, manage resources, and use resources for empowering themselves, at the end of it all, to transform our society so that it comes out of this poverty that it is eating up humanity. And so, on Saturday, we want to show ourselves to the society, to the public, and to let people know what we intend to do. One may ask, there are many universities in the country, even outside the country, who have been even dealing with the causes that concern economic development of society. We, St. Ignatius University, we are doing it differently. We are on hands-on, and these skills will be able to bring an impact in the society. So we call upon every one of you listening to us to come on 24th of August 2024 for the inauguration of our university, so as to practically and directly be told and be informed of what St. Ignatius University is to the society. I want to wish you well, and to wish every one of you, especially you, we want to thank you, Media Fraternity, for being with us. May God protect every one of you, and may God bless St. Ignatius University. Maruhanga ahabwe chichoncho cha university yitu turi kweta St. Ignatius University. Nitusima Ruhanga ahabwe bikwato ebyatuherize na munonga okuhisa ha university eji ahitwa Gihisa. Nitusima Ruhanga nitugumizamo tusima Bishop wetu Callist Rubaramira na munonga owagizire echetengo cyo kugira ngo tutandike university eji. Nitumusima hamwe nabo abari kora nabo na munonga ahabwe kitekereze kikirungi n'obugabe bw'ekereziya okutandika amatendekero go kwegesezamo na munonga amatendekero gorengo gwahigoro nka St. Ignatius University, kandi ekikiragiro nikiruga ahari Yezu owatuhereza obushoborozi bwo kugenda tukegesa abantu nk'uko turi kubireba omuvanjiri ya Matayo umutwe gwa 28 akanyirike 19 ku Isaka 20. Mugende mwegesa abantu, kandi echecho nico turi kugenderaho na munonga turi kukuratira okwegesa kwa Kristo, kandi okwegesa oko kujyo ko kuhindura amagara g'abantu, okwegesa omunyegesa y'ekereziya, kandi omumatendekero g'ekereziya twine enchinji ishatu. Ruhanga niwe turi kwebembeza, kandi nabwe turagumizamo tworekere na munongo kugira ngo abantu bagira emico mirungi n'engesho nungi omukora, kandi nabwe twagumiza mechaka shatu twayegesa abantu okugira ngo batekateka kurungi na munonga entekateka eri kubasa okuhindura amagara g'abantu. Aze entekateka eji niyo tworekerere okugira ngo university eji yaba senta yo kutekateka kurungi okugira ngo yahindura amagara g'abantu, kandi na munonga yarwanisa obworo obwehunguririze abantu, kandi omunkora ya kereziya kandi ya university eji tugenderere okugira ngo abantu bayege emyoga y'emikono, emyoga yo kutekateka, emyoga y'emikono eyo kugira ngo abantu batunga obukugu oburaba basise okugira ngo bahindura amagara gabo, na munonga baronda uburyo obuturahiheyo obworo oburi kuteganisa abantu omucanga chetu, kandi nitwenda kugumizamo tubacira orwamukaga university eri kwigugwa omu butongore. Turi kwereka abantu ebitugenderere kora omu university eji na munonga yo kuhindura amagara g'abantu. Mwije mwena ibirabire na bina byo kwezi kwa munana, kandi orwamukaga okugira ngo twatongoza university eji. Nasigara ndi Monsignor John Vianney Sande, Vicar General Kabale Diocese, kandi member wa University Council ya St. Ignatius University. Mwebale munonga.
Reverend Father Maximiliano, I'm an associate professor and the Vice Chancellor of St. Ignatius University Kabale. I'm also happy and glad to be with you, the Fourth Estate, the people who inform the nation and the community of what is happening, and especially also helping us to shape the way we do things, especially by informing the community of what is happening. I want to welcome you and thank you for coming here. I'm glad that today we are here for this press conference, a conference meant to inform people of what is happening in Kabale, in Kigezi, and Uganda. On Saturday the 24th, we shall be having a very high guest. Thank you for coming here. I'm glad that today we are here for this press conference, a conference meant to inform people of what is happening in Kabale, in Kigezi, and Uganda. On Saturday the 24th, we shall be having a very high guest, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, retired General Jessica Arupo, who will officiate the opening and the launching of this university. This occasion takes place just 5 days since we received a license to operate as a private university. We received it on the 31st of August 2023. And also about a little bit over 8 months since we opened the doors for our first students. Our first students began on the 8th of January. That's when we opened doors for students. And today, we are happy to say that we are having 170 students in the class. And these students are divided into 8 areas, which I want to talk about. The first one is Bachelor of Business Administration. The second is Bachelor of Tourism, Heritage and Leisure Management. The third is Diploma in Tourism and Leisure Management. The fourth is a Diploma in Science Laboratory Technology. The fifth is a Diploma in Agriculture. The sixth is a Certificate in Medical Records and Health Informatics. The seventh is the Certificate in Science Laboratory Technologies. We also have courses, as I will talk about, in UBTEB, vocational and TVET courses. And these are on information in tourism, agriculture, business, and hotel management. And we are glad that these students are with us, and they are very happy with what we are doing. Visions to establish a university in this region. Many listeners may ask themselves, why another university in Uganda? We have so many universities, and even here in Kabale, we have another university just across the hill. Why another university? Kabale Diocese, which has been leading in educating the population, because we have schools that are on pre-primary education, we have primary schools, we have secondary schools, we have tertiary schools, we have nursing schools and others. Why does it again begin another institution in addition to other areas of education that are happening within the country? There are very, very many reasons. There is a shared vision that we have, and this shared vision is that not everybody who should go to the university is having a chance of attaining university education. There is an area of exclusion that the diocese is trying to narrow down. And what is that exclusion? People may not manage to go to Makerere due to high costs. You have to transport, you have to have accommodation, you have to do whatever. And the university says, the diocese thinks, and rightly thinks, that there are many people who could have gained a university education but excluded due to transportation, far distances, tuition fees, and others. Can we narrow that gap? But the most pressing vision is, if you look around in Kigezi, I'm talking about Kabale district, I'm talking about Ruchiga district, I'm talking about Rukunji district, I'm talking about Kanung district, I'm talking about Rubanda and Kisoro. We are known as a region that is overpopulated. We are also known as a region that is having depleted soils. Production is going down, and our people depend largely on agriculture. And when you look into the statistics of the nation, for me, I try to look at the statistics since 2000. The poverty levels are every time decreasing. And the most pressing one is that from 2022 to 2023, we went a step 12 steps degrees down, from 27% to 12%, going deep into poverty. We need a transformation that will guide our people to have a stand on their legs and work on the socio-economic levels on which they are living on. And that is why St. Ignatius University began to see how we can join other partners within the country to transform the lives of our people. Monsignor has talked about financial literacy and also money economy to see what we can do to have this university run. And this is what we are inaugurating on Saturday. Because we believe that Uganda and this region need to have a reason to solve the complex issues that we face. There are a lot of complexities that we face globally and locally. I can give an example. When we were hit by COVID in 2019, 2020, 2021, the eyes of Africans were all outside. Who can give us a vaccine that can stop this disease? The disease comes from outside, and we're looking for solutions again from outside. Shall we ever reach a stage when we have our scientists, when we have our educated people to create reasons on why we can look internally to solve these problems? And that is the reason why St. Ignatius University is here. You have heard that apart from courses that are accredited by National Council of Higher Education, you also have courses that are accredited by UBTEB. And UBTEB, which is the Uganda Business and Technical Examination Board, offers hands-on education, hands-on vocational education. And this, for us, is the hinge on which we shall fulfill what the Vicar General has talked about, the hands-on education, hands-on. We are familiar with our people, educated and non-educated, going outside the country looking for jobs in Dubai, in Arab countries and elsewhere. We are also familiar with graduates with degrees who are on the streets looking for jobs. One will ask himself, then what is the use of that education that you took, that took you to the university all the time, all the money, or what was the reason why you went to study? So our aim is that whoever comes out of this university should be able to employ himself or herself. That is the first. And if this person gets a chance of being employed, should be the best employee that an organization will have to get, because they are already good into transforming themselves and also transforming society. And that is why we have the courses of entrepreneurship in year 1, year 2, and the 3rd year. The first year will introduce entrepreneurship principles and whatever. The second is to develop entrepreneurial ideas. Let me call them businesses. You develop them and let them be on the market. The third, entrepreneurship in the 3rd year, it is a pitching course. People should start pitching what they have done, and it is sold to the community. And that is why we are standing. So, I could speak for the whole day, because this is something that is in the nerves of everyone. But I want to thank the diocese for establishing this university, for establishing this campus, and for everybody that has supported the diocese into establishing this. The Christians of Kabale Diocese and beyond have contributed immensely for the establishment of this university. Apart from the land that the diocese gave, including the land at Chitumba for agricultural purposes, we have a number of people who have contributed to this. And now it is time that we showcase that their contribution is bearing fruit. So we are calling upon the public, please receive us, send students, let us join together to transform our country to the level that everyone wishes us to be in. Thank you very much, media. Thank you very much, the person who is listening to me from radio and elsewhere. And I end as saying, we are welcoming you on Saturday. Let us show our Vice President that Kabale and Kigezi region is ready to receive this new university, and we are aiming to transform our society to be a society that is that follows the mandate of our government: self-reliance, industrialization, and others. And this is what we are building on. Thank you very much.
When you realize even the institutions we have in the entire diocese, there is no institution whereby people are excluded from attending our institutions. So this is an inclusive university for all people who want to have education, this authentic and practical education in our institutions. Number two, there is a question on corruption. There is a vice of corruption in the entire country. Maybe one would say even internationally, this has been a problem. When I was talking about the hinges or the principles or the tenets we follow, I talked about ethics in our education. People being taught how they must be upright in their conduct. And what I would like to share with you, every course unit, we have made a decision that it has a course unit on ethics, so that even people who come out of the university, they are people of moral integrity, and when you are morally upright, you are able even to fight corruption. Lastly, before I allow others also to make some comments, the teaching of the church has been on equality. And so in its teaching, it fights inequality, under which we have corruption. So the church has been very clear, even in advising the government, on how best we can fight corruption. And so we shall not surrender. And since this is an institution of higher learning, these courses we do understand, students who come out of this institution will be able to be salt of the earth in the public to fight these vices that eat up our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me add on what the Vicar General has. We had Father Zeno, which is Mana here, who is the university chaplain. And you can see that in the middle of our compound we have a beautiful chapel. Having a chaplain and a chapel does not necessarily mean that we are only receiving Catholics. No. The church, Catholic Church, teaches everyone. And this is not a ground again for having people to change their religions. We include everybody. Everybody is included and comes here to learn. So this is not a seminary. The seminary receives boys who intend to become priests. This is not a convent where we train nuns. It is an education, it's a university, universal We offer universal studies and also universally accept everybody who comes to study from here. So that is one thing. Then the question of corruption and morality. Yes, ethics is what we call the cross-cutting course that everybody will have to study from year 1 to the 3rd year. So everybody who comes here will try to learn to study ethics. And we are also having something that is very unique here. People have a thinking taken from the colonial times that when you go to school, you have to look for an employer to employ you. An employer to employ you. Because those days, education was to work for the colonial governments. We are changing it. If you see people who are working on these flowers are our students, we are changing that. People must work. Don't rely on stealing people's properties, but use your hands to work. People are being sponsored by what they are doing with their hands at this university. So we are sure that with this kind of option that we are taking, we should be able to solve the question of people coming out of here, being proper workers, and also being ethical and integral in whatever they do.
And say that beyond the classroom, our students are in a campus that models example. The Vice Chancellor has already said that the priority, our policy, is to employ our students in the jobs that they can do here. By so doing, we are training them to work and earn rather than be entitled to handouts, because we know that that thinking, that mentality is part of why we have a corruption problem in this country. The second one, I think, is what we call a deficit of empathy, an inability of people to put themselves in other people's shoes. And so you take what does not belong to you, you are living a life of social injustice. In this university, our philosophy is an ethos of care. That is why, for example, our university provides part of the estate to our students who can use it, who come to us and say, we are needy, we cannot afford ABC. We are offering part of our estates to our students to work, to do horticulture, to sell those products and share the benefits. By so doing, these students are learning, one, to be responsible, to earn justly, to share in decision making, to solve problems collectively. And the third approach in addressing the moral challenge is we have, in our orientation, we talk to the students about these issues, but we also have routine talks and workshops on the same. Thank you so much.
Able to search and also do further checks on how far they can learn through the use of internet. In the same vein, we have a reasonable number of computers that our students can access. These computers are also free. They are available for them to check out, use them, and try to innovate as much as they can. Similarly, in the same vein, we are also trying to purchase other necessary instructional resources that can involve interactive use of learning, where the students and the lecturers could use technology in the pedagogy as they incorporate other issues of technology like AI. And in them, we also intend to also process some softwares, also make some subscriptions to certain companies for easy access of the softwares, so that our students can be able to access these resources and then also develop in the field of technology. Thank you very much.
Pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
God, our loving Father, we want to thank you for this